we've seen Michael Jordan in his area of expertise, basketball, fail in basketball at everything except playing the game. As an owner, as a general manager, failed. But now he hops over to NASCAR and he's got this whole thing figured out. And again, you could sit there and say, well, he owned the small market Charlotte Hornets. Are they smaller than OKC? I don't think so. Are they smaller than Indiana? Perhaps the Indiana Pacers, but they made it to the NBA Finals. Never could figure it out in the NBA how to run things. Great player. I'm not trying to diminish Michael Jordan, but he is being used here. He has cut a deal. And anybody sitting around thinking it's surprising that Michael Jordan, given NASCAR struggles, they can't draw the ratings that they're used to, that ESPN walked away from him in 2014. Sports not nearly as relevant as it used to be. There was one path back. That NASCAR had to play the race card. They had to create Race Jam. They tried to do it with Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace is a weak, inferior driver. He's no good. And so they couldn't do it with Bubba. And so they paired Michael Jordan. He still has Bubba, but they paired him with Tyler Reddick, who can actually drive. And now NASCAR is counting on because when you sit here and think about, like, who are the transcendent pop cultural stars that give you a bit of nostalgia and connect all the different generations and isn't some divisive figure that black people have one narrative on, white people have a different narrative on. Who is that guy? When Michael Jackson dies in 2009, there's only one guy left from that era that connects us all together, who can be some transcendent superstar who's not lost a bit of relevancy. So, the guy stepped away from basketball 25 years ago. Hasn't lost a bit of relevancy. And it's Michael Jordan. And they've injected him into NASCAR. And they've injected that storyline into NASCAR. And I think it's going to produce results. I think next week, you're going to see an uptick in people. I think they're going out to San Diego. Phoenix. They're going out to Phoenix. And people are going to see if Jordan can go 4 for 4. And there's probably a damn good chance that he's got the best car. I think most people, I was talking to people Friday before the race, like, hey, I think Tyler Reddick's going to win this. He's got the best car. And sure enough, he won. And some of you NASCAR fans are probably upset with me. How dare you say this thing is rigged up? Why wouldn't they rig it up? Why wouldn't they? There's millions upon billions of dollars at stake. These streaming services are dropping checks on sporting events that transform those leagues. If you think NASCAR doesn't want a piece of that, doesn't want a piece of the future, if you think they would be stupid not to use a Michael Jordan. He's the only thing that survived. Tiger Woods didn't survive. People like Tiger Woods, but he's a bit polarizing because of it. You know, the drinking, the carousing, Thanksgiving 2009. Can't do it with Tiger. Brady's not there yet. Brady's still a little bit polarizing because of his connection to the Patriots and Bill Belichick. Again, Michael Jackson's dead. Who else can draw a large audience and make black people, white people, and everybody feel good about them? It's Michael Jordan. And that's why we have Race Jam. And that's why NASCAR has a chance to survive because of the Michael Jordan, Tyler Reddick storyline. If Bubba Wallace knew how to turn left better, trust me, they would have loved to have it been Bubba Wallace. But the DEI driver didn't work, and so they had to go out and get a real driver in Tyler Reddick, and he and Jordan are going to try to drive NASCAR back into relevance. How come you guys didn't jump in and say, "Hey, Whitlock, shut up"? It's 10:30. What are we doing? How come you didn't yell at me?
Okay. When has that ever worked?
It hasn't.
Right. So what did they say about what is the definition of insanity?
Yeah.
I mean, basically, we're like the third base coach is giving you the stop sign. You round third, you go for home. Doesn't matter if the cutoff guy has the ball already by the pitcher's mound or whatever. It doesn't matter. So, but it was good though. I enjoyed it. I that was a good one. You
Thank
actually
you.
kept it relatively short, to be honest.
I really did because I got to remember we started 3 minutes late, so I got to give myself that break. Bring Dre and Scap in, but Steve, I want you to follow up. Are you starting to believe me now? You guys gave me a lot of pushback when I told you this Jordan thing is going to work with NASCAR. Are you starting to believe me now, Steve, that this thing's going to work?
No, no. I look. It's a notable story. People put it on my timeline. They talk about the other three-peat, the Jordan mystique, the Jordan aura. It's another thing that Jordan fans can hold over the LeBron cult. I respect that. I actually like it. But Jason, there's never been a sporting event that I've ever watched for the owner. Never. Not even the Yankees with Steinbrenner. It did maybe the reactions for Steinbrenner. That was something interesting. But in large part, the games are, get this, about the actual participants. I stick to that.
Well, when it comes to race car driving, the participants sit in a very stationary position behind the wheel of a car. You can barely see them. I'm not sure if Tyler Reddick's doing much more than Jordan.
All right. So first of all, um, if you've ever seen an Asian driver, the driver matters. It matters. I
That's
mean,
true.
look, if you go back, okay, all the way back, the first NASCAR driver that I knew of that was a national figure was Richard Petty. If I'm not mistaken, he drove the STP 43, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, part of that is because Richard Petty had this magnetic, everyman personality to a certain group of people in America. Seemed like a gregarious, friendly guy, type of guy you could shake hands with, spit some tobacco with, and you're like, man, that's like my next door neighbor if I lived down there. Like he was relatable. So it's not just about the car does most of the work. Yeah, you're right. But the man behind the wheel, it matters. It still matters.
Scap, am I starting to win you over that the Jordan thing is going to actually work?
No, I'm still with Steve on this all the way. I'm completely against you, Jason, on this one. I honestly couldn't care less. When I got the rundown for today's episode and Hadley asked me to be on, and I that is when I learned that Reddick has won his third consecutive race. It wasn't until I looked at that email because I don't know, I don't care. When you flashed up the little split screen there when
Yeah.
during your solo monologue here with Reddick with his the three fingers up with the split screen of Jordan when he won his three titles. That was pretty much the first time I've even seen Tyler Reddick. I couldn't pick that dude out of a two-man lineup going into this show today. And no one loves Michael Jordan more than I do, but I am still just so utterly and entirely disinterested in NASCAR, even if Michael Jordan is watching down from the box.